Hey guys, so just wanted to show you my new auction score. Pretty stoked about it. Got it for $9,500 out the door. That's after fees. Completely out the door, $9,500. It's a clean title, 2020 limited, and it's got 48,000 miles on it. And it was in the dead row. For those who don't know, the dead row is the in-op portion of the auction where they have the non-runner cars, the non-runner section essentially. Okay, so this car was not running and listed as a non-runner, and I bid on it. I was confident that I could figure it out, and I've been working on hybrids a lot lately. This one is a 15 Energy C-Max that's getting a new transmission because they tend to eat up their transmission bearings. And I've parted out two second-gen Priuses. I've also worked on a lot of second-gen Priuses. I've also worked on some third-gen Priuses. So I'm really getting into the electrified cars. So really excited, really stoked. This is my first EV. I used to have a 16 Kia Soul that I didn't have for long. My ex and I got it repossessed because we lost our jobs with the pandemic. Those were the wonderful pandemic years. So we only had that car for a year. So I do have experience with a Korean EV, that Kia Soul, but this is my first actually car that I bought for expressly to resell. Anyway, I'm loquacious. I'm on a spectrum. I don't want to talk your ear off. Let's get right into it. So, big mess right off the bat. I think the way this car ended up in the non-running section of the auction was that the owner or somebody drove at speed through a mud puddle, hence the car being so muddy and dirty, especially in the back wheel wells here, just over the top, gross. But what they did was they broke the splash shield, the front splash shield under the motor. So this EDM shield is broken, cracked, so that's garbage. Got to replace that. I could get it on online. I could find these pretty easily. And then the rear shield, which covers the connections on the battery and the coolant hose is gone. This is missing. I think they hit the mud puddle with so much force that they broke the front shield, destroyed the rear shield where it was just gone, bent a couple shield studs in the process. That one's pretty bad right there. That one's also bent. And there's one over here on the battery that's bent to shit. But I can straighten those out. That's pretty easy. I can do that on the vise, or I have my ways. Yeah, broken. There's a piece of shield right there, still held on with a fastener. And this connector for the high voltage AC compressor was just sitting there, dangling. I didn't know it. I didn't know it until after I bought the car. I won the auction. I won the bid. And I was just looking underneath here to see where I could attach my winch, because I have a car trailer with a winch and I was going to trailer it home. And I saw this just dangling there. And the car had an interlock DTC, so HV battery interlock DTC. And I thought maybe it would need a new safety interlock for the high voltage battery, which I believe you can get to under the rear seats. On the top of the pack, but I was wrong. This is what triggered the interlock DTC. It's this HV AC compressor connector, which literally got damaged when the knucklehead drove through a mud puddle. They broke the retention tab and they cracked the female plug assembly. You could see on the perimeter how it's all cracked. But it does function because I did plug it back in, and the car, lo and behold, started running again. And it drives great. It's a nice driving car. So I was able to drive it out of the auction lot. I still put it on my car trailer just in case, and we towed it home with our big Ford van. We got a big diesel van with the IDI, you know, blah, 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 blah. And we towed it back here, and yeah. And now I'm just, now I finally, it's the first, this is day one with the car, and I'm just seeing how I can fix some of this stuff. Thanks for hanging in there, guys. I know I talk a lot, but I'm trying to cover everything. So how would you approach, I guess the question I'd have is, how would you approach that crack? There's these little Allen fasteners that I can remove, and of course I can order a new Hyundai part, a new connector, yada bada bada, beady beady boom, and do everything super official and replace the harm. I'm not going to do that, guys. I know some of you would, and you're right to do that. You should do that, but I'm a flipper. I'm going to flip the car. I'm going to clean it up, and I'm going to resell it. And I'm not going to spend mostly time and money replacing an entire high voltage harness for the AC compressor. It does work. We just need to find a creative way to keep it there and retained so it doesn't just slip off like that. Also, we want to do something about the crack. You see the crack there? So maybe there's a way that we can epoxy that crack. Of course, we got to clean everything up. Super clean, meticulously clean. This is the main high voltage battery line. Maybe I should disconnect that too so we can clean all that crap. Jesus Christ. And then the data connector. Yeah, I don't know. They went through the puddle with so much force. They got schmuck, mold, schmud, dirt, and all these crevices up in here. I mean, if you look under the rear cradle or the subframe, some people like to call this a subframe. You can call it a cradle if you want. Look how much shit is stuffed in between the lower control arm. And oh my God, Jesus. And of course they punched a hole in the front bumper. It's not too bad. But I don't know what this part of the bumper is called. Maybe the lower grill, valance. I don't know what valance even means. Fancy word for fancy people. But I was thinking about maybe just cutting this nicely, you know, in a way that looks more uniform and intentional, so that it doesn't look like just a broken hole. Or maybe put a sticker here. What do you guys think? I'm not going to replace this piece because that's stupid. I would never get my money back on that. The next person who owns this car could just, you know, they could just get a discount. How's that? And then there's also a broken part here on this bumper. You see, there's nothing I can do about that. I'm not gonna seek out that part either, although it looks like it comes apart. Is that separatable? Maybe like a gas Kona has a bumper that would work. This one's kind of scuffed. It might be worth looking into another bumper off of an ice Kona, but ice Konas have exhaust tips. I don't know if this part will work because the exhaust tips on an ice Kona, a gas Kona is, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, interior's complete. Everything works on this car. Everything works, but it is nasty. Absolutely unloved. Drives like a dream. I'm not saying that because I'm trying to sell it. It objectively drives really nice. So it's gonna clean up really nice. I'm excited about it, but it's so nasty. The seats are in good shape, no rips or anything like that, but very dirty. Scratches on the hard plastic. How would you deal with the scratches on hard plastic? Yeah, this is limited, so it's got the heated leather seats and the moonroof. I don't know much about these cars. It doesn't have the heated steering wheel, unfortunately. Our Kia Soul had it. I had a Kia Soul EV with a heated steering wheel. But yeah, nice car. Doesn't have the radar. I wish it had the radar. Then I'd throw a comma AI on it or something. But it only has the lane keep on it and the cross traffic alert. I think it has blind spot monitoring. I don't remember. Yes, it does. So yeah. Anyway, sorry. That's all I got. Let me know what you guys think and how you would approach things. Yes, we got to replace this terminal. It's obviously very rusty. And the engine bay, or whatever you call it on an EV, the EDM bay, inverter bay, powertrain bay, is very dirty, very gross. Yeah, so anyway, that's it.